You're looking at Fallopoeia japonica, Japanese knotweed. It's alien, it's invidious, and it's highly destructive.
Well, Julian, it looks fairly innocuous, but we know it's not. How did you first find out about it?
Basically, one of the residents told me about it, said they think they've got Japanese knotweed. I had a look on the internet and found out that it looked as though, checking the leaves and the bamboo-like shoots, that it was. Apparently we've had it perhaps up to 10 years, but it's really grown in the last year or so. It's spread and it's getting very close to one of the buildings, so we've got to get rid of it.
Such is the concern over its spread that failing to deal with this plant could result in an antisocial behaviour order and a fine of £2,500. The residents here are taking no chances, and the contractors they've called in aren't either.
What you can't see, of course, is the massive root system that will extend 2, maybe 3 metres horizontally, and it may well be up to 3 metres deep.
So that's why you're digging it out?
So that's why we're digging. You can see this is some knotweed. You can see that's pretty well anchored into the ground. This is
that's not going anywhere.
This is a piece that's just been exposed, so this is a fairly mature piece of knotweed.
Any root more than about an inch long could regrow, so the soil is filtered clean.
If you don't tackle it, what will happen is it will spread further and it will eventually cause physical damage to property. So you'll hear lots of cases where it's grown up through driveways, through floors, even in buildings, through walls, even had it through a roof. It'll grow into drains, block drains, break drains. So that's really the reason why a lot of banks and lenders have a lot of concern about it, and believe it or not, won't generally lend on property that's got Japanese knotweed on it.
But after more than a century on the rampage, poisoning or physically removing every plant isn't realistic. So, could the answer to such a mammoth problem actually be tiny? These are psyllids, one of the hundreds of species that infests the plant in its natural home, Japan. So, could they be persuaded to attack knotweed here?
What we're doing is trying to use nature to control nature, so a much longer term approach to the problem. There's almost nothing supported by Japanese knotweed here. It's like green concrete. Our job was to eliminate all the ones that could feed on anything other than Japanese knotweed. The last thing we want is something that will feed on a native plant or a crop.
At these labs, the scientists specialise in tackling pests that damage farmers' crops in the developing world. The trick is, though, to recreate success in the laboratory out in the wild.
Here there's no wind, there's no rain, the temperature's pretty standard. We know they can overwinter in our environment, which is really a positive start, but getting the population to grow is a real challenge at the moment.
They are 4 years into a programme that could take 15 years to complete, and success is far from guaranteed. So, saying sayonara to this invader is still some way off.